Hello and welcome to another game between Haako and Easy. This is their third game, their third match. So, well, I guess that's already spoiling the first two games. They have one win each. Easy won the first one, and Haako won the second game. And that's actually the first games that I have been witnessing that had two different winners in the two different games. So the first one to take it out on the third game. So that's it's very exciting to see who will prevail in the end. The loser will get kicked out of the tournament. So I I think they might have a bit of nerves going into this game. At least if they're if they care about the tournament as much as I do sometimes. I know it's just fun and games, but I don't know, for some reason I can hype myself up, even though it's just a game and it's just fun. And but for some reason I still get nervous going into a match. Yeah, I don't know if that's just me, but whether or not they are, this is the whether or not they are nervous. This is the final game between the two, and yeah, as I said, the winner takes it all. And so far, I only witnessed one going out of the tournament. Who was that actually? Yeah, Energize. I think I watched the game one game between Plan Block and Energize. So that's another spoiler right there. It's always good to say that it's a spoiler after you spoiled it. So yeah, learn from that, definitely. So Energize is the only player I've seen get kicked out of the tournament so far, and this is the seen as in where I actually watched the games. So this will be the second, and very exciting to see who will move on. And I don't know who they are to meet after this, and I'm not sure it's even determined yet. So maybe there's some room for them to relax, for the winner to relax a bit before the next match. So Haako is in blue, Easy in red. I think Haako will go for this spot, and Easy potentially go for this spot. But it's a very tricky map, isn't it? Like it's quite a tricky one, especially when you block each other out on the obvious spots. There is a single trade route down here, and Haako does start as expected, and I expect Easy to do something like this, like start and here and then go down. He could start up here, but yeah, I don't know. You just give away a lot of the map to Haako by starting up here, but I guess he's really considering where to start, but I would assume he's considering here versus here more than he's actually considering this, but who knows. Down here he has the eco, he has the gas and options for even more gas, while Haako is actually limited for to gas for quite a while. And Easy does pick this, and I assume he will kind of move down here. No? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So if Easy can keep Haako from expanding east, that would be huge for Easy. Easy with the town, 2 barracks, a factory, 4 barracks. Haako is going tanks. Definitely tanks. And that's probably a very good choice because Easy doesn't have like an obvious choke to defend against tanks. This is just a bit too wide, I think. He's very vulnerable. He doesn't have any air. So at least his town and this barracks will go down, and Haako has already picked his target. Even though he doesn't spot it, he just assumes that Easy has built a town there. So this could be a very quick game, depending on the success of Haako's rush. And Haako puts down 2 barracks. And he's going for this energy as well, and this actually. Down here to make sure that Easy is not getting that trade route. So here comes the tanks, and Easy will now spot them. Let's see how he reacts. He's trying to cut them off. What will he's building a tank of his own, and he's actually doing a small quick entrenchment. I assume Easy Haako will just move around it, to be honest. And Easy tries to recall his troops, but they're still capping. And he's putting down another entrenchment, but that's not how it works. These tanks will just move around it. They don't care. And this almost looked like a panic state from Easy. It's also a very tough way to start your third all or nothing game, because this town will go down, and now Haako will just move these around and around. Let's see how much he can see. He doesn't see any of the buildings in the mountains just yet. And Easy might get saved by Haako not targeting the town properly. Like, he could have definitely gotten this town, but they are completely surrounded now. Well, they will escape, so that's good news for Easy. And Haako needs to be present elsewhere, so he has trouble keeping up with the management of those tanks. I think this turned out very well for Easy. Losing 1 barracks is not the end of the world, and he should be a decent amount ahead with eco. 450, 420, 35. It's not much, but it's some. Here comes even more tanks. And Easy keeps building barracks. I think he might need an airport. And now Haako is going for the town, I think. So Easy really needs to get those troops moving. I think he put this down so he can kind of keep expanding while he's taking care of this. Now the town will go down, I think. got the tanks of his own. But he left this town vulnerable, and it will cost him a town. And I think Haako is just going to, like, how much can I get out of these tanks? And then he actually keeps building tanks. I thought he would then switch out of it, but he's still at it. But he won't get this. And this is how slow you move in mountains. And you can't spot any of the buildings. There you go. So that might be the last tanks we see from Haako, these two, for a while at least. Haako is going for this town as well. And he will reach this town before Easy. But Easy has a big army here. And I was wrong. Haako is still going for the tanks. Easy's now trying to get this energy. Because he's almost out of energy now. And I bet Haako wants to go and check for this gas. Now that he sees Easy has tanks. But he might also spot that they are out of energy now. So he knows it's not up and running just yet. But I bet he's going for it. Maybe not, since he knows it's not there. I guess that makes sense. So he's searching the mountains for any buildings. But that limited vision is not helping him in any way. In the meantime, Easy is expanding and he's building another expansion barracks. So I think in a bit of time we'll start to see Easy getting more and more eco. But Haako is actually a decent amount ahead after the fall of this town. So Haako is 80 ahead. But my guess is that Easy will start to win back some of that. Oh, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Because he actually only has like 6 units capping here and, well, a bunch here, to be honest. But Haako also has, he has a squad here. He has a squad here, and a squad here. So he chooses to build the eco instead. And he's very aware of this gas. He's trying to push through this entrenchment. Now Easy is pushing. That's a very strong push. If he can combine that with the tanks, it would be quite deadly, I think. But he can't afford the gas just yet. And now Easy can begin to cap some of Haako's territory, and that will definitely help a lot with the eco deficit that he has at the current stage. So I bet he will start to gain in a minute. So he's still 80 behind. That will change soon. Of course Haako got this on the way. Easy's just going for it now. Unfortunately, I think he's just shy of enough infantry to get anything working with that. And he also chooses to do something different. He's hoping that Haako put his gas here, but unfortunately for him, he won't find anything. Let's see what he can see. So he actually sees this gas now, and he sees all of this. So he got a decent view of Haako's base. He got his gas going now as well. Well, not going just yet, but it's on the way. And just having this barracks here really helps out, because he will also beat this army. And Haako knows it. He puts down another barracks. I think that's actually his first expansion barracks. So Easy will win on the two flanks as of now. He's ahead. He got a barracks on each side, and he got the extra troops right now. So that's huge for him. And he's checking this as well to see if there's any gas here. Let's see if he caught up now. 610, 620, and 680. So Haako is 65 ahead. And Easy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 producers for the front line. Haako has 7, 8 kinda. But Easy with a more infantry heavy constellation, while Haako got 3 factories, obviously. Puts down another town. This is very good for Easy. He put down another barracks. Where did he? Over here. I think that's a very clever choice. Because I think it's right to invest in this. Because he's feeling fine. He's not about to lose here. So gaining traction on these two flanks, I think that might end up giving Easy the win here. At least it's a good beginning. Of course, nothing is certain yet. Haako is still, last time we checked, ahead on eco. He got the upper hand on the amount of producers. He's building more eco. So I'm certainly not saying that this is a certain win for Easy at all. But it's looking promising. If he can get these two flanks, start to move up here and cut a Haako off, and he can easily defend this, and then if he can push upwards here, then he can always later do his back capping. Easy tries with his tanks, but with no success. Haako does the same. I think it will go down, maybe. Will it get caught? No. And Easy put down another expansion barracks over here. Haako with another town. So I think in this case, building the barracks has a better return of investment than the towns, because they will give probably just as much income as the towns, but they will also give you units, so you can win this part of the map, which will leave the towns vulnerable anyways if you don't have the units to defend it. So I think Haako is making the wrong choices building those eco buildings rather than building what I would call as like a eco barracks, because it's still meant for eco, but it also provides you with unit that can actually defend the area or attack your opponent. But when it's so much territory, it's basically also an eco building. And Easy keeps on putting down these barracks. And there's no way Haako can keep up with that. Let's see if he overtook Haako now. 810 and 850, so Haako is still 40 ahead. But the difference is that Easy has a ton more units on either side, and he puts on another barracks. Haako with another factory instead. So I'm not sure what Hako's plan is right now. If he's feeling confident that this single barracks is enough, he puts down another barracks here. And here comes the air. Excuse me. So now Easy can kind of cut off any reinforcements from Haako here. He can put up an entrenchment. Actually, that's what Haako does, which could kind of signal to Easy that Haako has given up on supporting from the center. Haako does have a bunch of infantry up here, actually more than I noticed, but Easy has so many barracks now. This one I did not spot. Haako was down and to check on the gas, and he could build a small proxy base. Haako is running directly into this entrenchment. He does win it, but it hurt a lot, and he put down another barracks. But Easy just has so many barracks now, or so many, 4 actually, sorry, and this one as well. Haako with another barracks. So I might be wrong. It might Haako might succeed with having built the eco and then put down the barracks now. Maybe he will be able to defend himself in time. But I think, let's look at the eco. I suspect that Easy is very close if he haven't already overtaken Haako. So 910. Oh, actually, not at all. Well, so I guess that is the power of towns after all, that they do provide more income than I anticipated, actually. And now Haako is starting to push back here. He's relocating or redirecting some of his troops. But Easy has 3 barracks. He should be able to keep up, though I guess Haako has 2 and 1, and even like kind of split on these two. So in theory, actually, Haako has more. And when he starts to put air over here, that will be huge for Haako. Haako is actually doing well, so I might have misjudged this situation. Could be interesting if Haako just kind of builds up a big swarm of helis. Not a big one, but just a decent sized one, because if he reveals one heli, like, it won't be able to do that much damage before Easy puts down a factory with SAMs or interceptors. But if he suddenly show up with 5 helis, they will tear all of this apart. Easy puts down a factory, that will just shred it immediately. And here comes a big push from Haako with the tanks. And he might be going for this gas, I could imagine. Or for the central base, we'll see. Easy should really be in should be outnumbering Haako up here. But his advancements are going too slow at the moment. And Easy could even put up a trade. I know I basically said that barracks gave more eco, but that's not what I meant. And a trade, of course, gives a bunch of eco. What I meant was just that Easy will get his eco while getting an army, but it seems like he's not using it the best way possible. Like here, he kind of split up his army, and it's taking some heavy losses. He could cut off this instead, just build an entrenchment, and then focus on moving north. And spending 1100, he could get a trade up and running. And here comes the tanks going for the gas. And they will definitely get that gas. Let's see if they can actually see it. They can. And I just realized I've been muted for quite a bit. That's awesome. I think, yeah, I don't know. Haako did get a proxy base up and running here. And now Easy is building his trade. This is a huge boost from Haako. And now everything suddenly looks very, very good for Haako. I thought for most of the game that Easy had this. Well, he had a rough start. Really turned it around, but he really pushed back at least. And now everything looks grim again. But I think I think actually Easy had the option to win this. He just didn't use his units well enough on the flanks. Because look, how many units are these, right? And they are just spending so much time on slowly traversing this terrain. Small choke, barely capping anything. Meanwhile, he's losing his main base. And these have been sitting here forever, doing nothing. And Haako is going for that town now. And even if Easy is winning on the flanks, well, he's not. I don't know if he's winning here. These units will get this town and the 2 barracks. Did he put down a factory somewhere? Ah, over here. You haven't given up yet. He needs to divert these units to defend this, rather than capping. But now that Haako has so much air as well, it will be very tough for him to handle. But now he's redirecting his units. Let's look at the ego actually. 1100 and 1000 for Haako. So finally Easy is ahead on ego, but he's completely behind on units now. He's behind on momentum and units and everything else than ego. Tries a small push here, but they will get destroyed by the helis and the producers are so close. Haako can quickly just make a decent defense. He does manage to defend the barracks. And now everything starts to crumble for Easy, except for this. I don't think Haako will fear it that much. This is interesting to see if 6 tanks, and I know there's 5 now, but there was 6 can get through, and they can. And now Easy would need to kind of give up on these entrenchments so they can kill the tanks. Not that it matters too much. He doesn't have any any gas units. Gets Haako's gas, but Haako can just build this gas or this gas. But it does mean that he's... Oh, he actually got the airport. I'm really sorry I didn't put enough focus on that. I assumed that Haako would be able to defend it. Wouldn't it be funny if I once again just completely misjudged the game and now Easy just runs over Haako and wins it all? That's the type of commentator we want. The guy to cast the game so doesn't know anything, just says stuff and everything turns out to be incorrect. That's the one we want to listen to. $1,000 and 1,000. Actually, I think they're exactly the same. Yeah, they are 1,065. But Easy will also lose this unless Haako kind of forgets about it. And that's how your central base can suddenly move to another spot on the map. Haako built something somewhere. I'm not sure where. Sound like a barracks. Ah, here. Okay. Wants to go up and around. But this army is more or less dead now. And I think that small momentum that Easy actually had, that's small shot at doing something on Haako's main base, I think it's dead. So Easy's army is just split into, it's with Haako in the middle. That's a fun way of having the game play out. And another airport for Haako. I think Haako will start to gain the eco upper hand now, but they're still exactly the same. Easy starts to move a bit more west now. So Haako definitely hasn't forgot about this trade. And Easy is actually on top over here now. And he gets the entrenchment, but that's not gonna work against artillery. Or helis for that matter. This game is really fragmented into a bunch of front lines. We'll soon have one here, one big or two here, you decide. One here, a few battles here, one here, one here. Pretty stressful to play out. So I definitely think that Haako will take this by now, but it will take him some time, because easy space is all over the place. I think I'm just gonna speed it up a bit, just to 1.5. Otherwise we might sit here for the rest of the day. And now with Haako getting the air again, would be very tough for Easy to do anything. Doesn't build any factories, and it will hurt him both with the air and Haako's artillery. He also lost all momentum here, because he has to divert a bunch of troops. He does have some anti-air here. On the other hand, he will be winning up here. It's still looking good here, actually. I guess you need quite a bit of helis to actually kill that many infantry, because the infantry can shoot down the helis. You just need enough of them. And Easy should, yeah, and he does. That's exactly what I wanted him to do. He's building up a small army here. More helis are coming. He's going to try to hurt this army a bit, weaken it a bit. Haako is building more eco. Let's see if they are still equal. 1110 and 1200. So now Haako starts to take off a bit. Easy got a decent sized army here, and it comes from all directions. So we might be able to get rid of this. But then Haako gets rid of this, and then Easy will get a new base up here, and maybe Easy will just keep moving his base around for the rest of the eternity. It's going for this gas, and I think it'll succeed. All this microing on so many front lines, it must be so tough for them. At least I think Haako might find some what's it called, like he can find some calmness in being in a fairly good position, but I don't know, maybe it doesn't feel like it for Haako. I don't know if he feels like he's in control, or if it's more like an observer thing when you can see everything. So maybe he's just as stressed out as Easy. This will go down. But then Haako takes this. This will go down. Easy will try to defend this. He could get that trade up and running. Right now he has 500. He could just slap down 2 ports. Get that extra eco. Haako is desperately looking for some sort of safe gas. Just build this one and this one on the way. But now with the fall of this base, which was probably easiest biggest base, and Haako has also already, no, he hasn't. I thought he had stopped pulling troops this way. But now we can focus on this one and this one. Yeah, I think 1300, 1100. I mean, Easy's eco is still good, but it did get rid of all of this. But I think Haako can feel more or less secure that he got this one. Easy does slap down the ports now. That will give a bit of a eco boost. It does have a bunch of infantry, I must admit. This base will die because it's because he's supplying all the units this way. And now he's building a base here. So is Haako. It's almost like Easy just insists on infantry only. Now this base should go down. Haako is building more and more gas. Should have plenty, shouldn't he? No? How much? Maybe he has more tanks than I realized. And he did lose this. And he might lose this as well. But Easy loses his northern base, I think. Haako is building more eco. Yeah, I never seen anything like this. Easy having all of the coastline, so to speak, or the outer part of the map, and then yeah, and he started down here. That's just, yeah, that's how a game can evolve sometimes. Pretty fun. And here comes a bunch of infantry. Can they shoot down a heli? No, they can destroy the gas. And Easy just keep going at it with those barracks. But I think Haako should feel fairly on top now. I don't think he feels like he's about to lose the game. Is that a... Ah, it's a city. Or port, maybe. I did think I hear some kind of Navy themed audio. And Easy has the trade up and running. We probably can't see the impact of it just yet. And he's building a shipyard. I have no idea why. Maybe to get the gas? I don't know. Missile ships? I don't know. And Easy, to no one's surprise, is putting down a bunch of barracks. And he will lose all of this. That's a solar panel, so it is missile ships. But now it's a big advantage for Haako that that kind of he knows where Easy are, and he doesn't have to go across the whole map. Now he just, of course, there's this little spot, but otherwise you just have to push through these 4 chokes. So that's, yeah, there you go. Congratulations to Haako. What a game. That really dragged out. Fun game to watch though. And yeah, thanks for Easy to participate in the tournament. Sad to see him go so early, so to speak. It's not that early, to be fair, especially not when playing Haako. Yeah, this was an interesting game. So yeah, congratulations to Haako. He's now on to the 3rd round as maybe the first player. I'm not sure if anyone else is already on to the 3rd round, so he can probably relax for some time. Fun to see how this kind of went up and down and then took off at the last bit of the game. So yeah, quite a long game, but in a fun way. Well played both. Hope you enjoyed watching, and see you for the next one. Bye.